Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to look at Arch Linux. We're going to put the Cosmic OS desktop environment on top. So what we want to do first, go to archlinux.org, click on download, scroll down to your country, download the ISO. I'm going to grab Arch Linux 86_64.iso. And I'm not going to download it again, I've already got it. So let that download. Then we're going to head over to FlatHub. Click on this drop down and you just want to copy that. Throw that in your terminal. Press enter. I've already got it, so I'm not going to do that. Once that's done downloading, you can just pull up your Fedora media writer, select ISO next, and then you can highlight your ISO that you downloaded, and then highlight your USB drive when you plug it in, click write, and then type in your root password. Let that write, and then you're going to boot up from your USB. Press F10, F11, F12, or delete keyboard to get to your boot menu, and then select the Arch Linux USB drive. And I'm going to shut down and I'll meet you there. Alrighty, and we booted up to the Arch USB stick that we just created. So now I'm going to just select this first one here, Arch Linux install medium. Press enter on that one. Okay, and if you're on a laptop, we'll do IWCTL to go into the wireless connection wizard. And then I'll just type help, a list of commands that we can use. So we can do station list, and that's going to give us a list of our wireless networks. Here, I'm using a virtual machine to show you the initial install, but if you were on a laptop, you should see something like WLAN 0 here. So if we use that as the example, we would use station WLAN 0 space connect, and then whatever the name of your SSID or your network is here. So, my SSID network here. And you can type the password in. What I would suggest is just press an enter here and let it prompt you for the password, and then you can type that in. But that's how you connect to wireless if you're on a laptop. So I'm just going to exit out of that. And then what we want is the Arch install. Since we're going to install the Cosmic desktop environment, we want Arch install -- advanced. We don't add this -- advanced, we won't see Cosmic as an option. We'll press enter on that. Our locals look good, mirrors look good. Go down to disk configuration, partitioning, use best effort. Put a space bar on that, press enter. ButterFS is good, press enter. Would you like to use ButterFS subvolumes? We can say no to that. We want to use compression, sure. And it looks good, we'll go back out of there. I'm not going to use any swap. For the bootloader, we can use grub. Hostname, this is what you want the name of your computer to be. We'll say Arch Cosmic VM. Authentication, this is where you're going to set up your user. I'm not going to use a root account. Just add a user. Linux T guy. Password, super secret password here. And we want to promote him to be a sudo user. Yes. Confirm. Alright, profile, desktop. This is where we want to select Cosmic here. Like I said, we did the -- advanced to have that as an option. So if you don't see that, you might want to reboot and make sure you launch Arch install -- advanced. Under graphics, if you have an Intel card, this is where you select that. If you got an NVIDIA, you could go ahead and put that on there. And of course AMD, I'm just going to leave it to open source. The greeter, we want the Cosmic greeter. That looks good. Applications. If you have Bluetooth, you do that there. I'm going to go ahead and select Pipewire. Don't want any Bluetooth on this since this is a VM. Kernel. If you're using this computer for gaming, I would suggest using the Linux Zen. Gives you faster response times. So we'll do that. We'll go with the Linux Zen, see how it works. Here I'll use Network Manager. Downloads, we'll skip that. Additional packages. So if you already have something in mind that you want to install, you could do that here. So for instance, do a / OBS Studio. And now you can see we've got OBS Studio that's going to pre-install. Time zone, I'm going to do a / America / Chicago. And our automatic time sync NTP is enabled. At this point, we're pretty much done. We can just go back through here and make sure everything looks right the way we want it. So make sure of that real fast. Okay, looks good. Highlight install and press enter. Would you like to continue? Yes. And we'll let this install. All right, now that the system is finished installing, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to reboot here, and I will see you on the first boot. As you can see, it didn't boot up into the Cosmic Greeter like we would expect, so let's log in real quick here. System CTL, restart Cosmic Greeter. There we go. So now that got it going. Do a Control-Alt F3 to get back out. And to get in, we did that. So let's do enable. So that way it's enabled. It should automatically start next time. So when we do start again. Yeah, so let's give it a restart and make sure that that sticks. Yeah, so now we're good. So now I'll put in my super secret password. And click next on this welcome. Get connected. English. Looks good. Time zone. America, Chicago. That's what we want. And they've got different themes here. So you got dark, light, comet light, cream light, mocha dark, nebula dark. Kind of like that one. Let's go with nebula dark. Okay, and you've got your top panel and bottom dock, which is kind of the traditional. So I'll stick with the top and bottom panel here. And when we're using the tiling feature, you can do Shift Super and then the arrows to move around to the active window. Fast and efficient. The super key brings up the system search. We'll do finish on that. And we are in Cosmic Desktop. Alright, let's do a fast fetch real quick. And it's not installed, so we'll do a sudo pacman s fast fetch. Go ahead and get that installed. And as you can see, we're running Arch Linux. We're on a VM with the kernel 6.17.9, and we're using that Zen kernel. It's more snappy. Uptime 3 minutes, packages 547, and those are pacman packages. The shell is bash 533. Desktop environment is Cosmic. Running on Wayland. I've assigned 4 proc and 8 gigs. Swap is disabled. And just a 20 gig Btrfs partition. Alright, and I changed the resolution a little higher, and then I gave it a reboot. But you'll notice on the initial boot up here, Firefox is just a gear icon. If you try to click on it, nothing happens. So to fix that, let's go sudo pacman s Firefox. Or you could use, whatever browser you want, right? Right here. For the video, we'll just use Firefox. And see, now we got Firefox here. It's still not showing up, but I bet after a reboot that the icon would show up. Let's go ahead and do that now. And yeah, after a quick reboot, we've got our Firefox icon down here. All right, and we'll just do an overview real quick. If you haven't seen the Cosmic environment yet, you've got your workspaces here. You can open a new workspace. It'd show up here. You've got your applications, and then the different folders for that. So Office, System, Utilities. The good thing about Arch is it doesn't install too much out of the box, so you can pretty much customize it the way you want it. And then on the dock at the bottom, launcher. Clicking that launcher is the same as pressing the super key. So bring up the super keys if we wanted to search for like Firefox or something. And you got your workspaces again. You got your applications. Firefox we just installed. You got your Cosmic files. You go to View and About. It installs version 0.1.0. System 76. We've got the Cosmic Text Editor. View and About. Version 0.1.0. Of course, the Cosmic Terminal. View and About. Version 0.1.0. The Cosmic Store. This is what you can use to go download different applications. It's very snappy, very quick. You can also check for updates here as well. All applications are up to date. And now the main portion of the video is going to be under the settings, because we're going to customize this to make it look how we want it to. Like I said, I just changed the resolution so the video would look better. This would be where your wireless connection will show up. your Bluetooth service. So if it's, I believe Arch installs Bluetooth disabled by default, so you could come in here and enable that. Accessibility, you got a screen reader, magnifier, high contrast mode, invert the colors, color filter, and the different types, grayscale, green, red, green, blue, yellow. Desktop, you can change the desktop. Wallpaper here, you use something like that. You can fill the screen or fit to screen. You can make a slideshow. And then here's your screen resolution under displays. You got your sound, power and battery, input devices, your applications, time and language, and then your system. We can go to About, and there's the name that we gave it when we were installing. You can see it's running on Wayland Cosmic 6179 Zen. Alright, so if we want to change the appearance, we're going to go to Desktop and then Appearance. And we did select a theme going through that welcome wizard at the front when we first logged in. But I'm going to go ahead and select blue, or we could do green so it matches this wallpaper. We'll select green here. And instead of having the corners rounded, we'll go with square. You can see how the corner of the window changed. Interface density, compact, spacious, comfortable. I like comfortable. And then this is the activate window hint size. So this little border around the window, you can make that bigger or smaller. You can increase the gap around it. You can change the system font. Let's see what we got here. We'll try. Looks a little bit more modern looking. And you can also change your icon package. So if you went and downloaded some icons, they would show up here. Okay, we'll go back and let's go into panel. And panel is going to show this top panel here. So you can change what position of the screen you want it on. Right now it's at the top, but you can move it to the left, right, or bottom. And if you had multiple displays, you could select this and pick, display 1, 2, 3, 4. If you want a gap between the panel and the edge of the screen, so if you selected that, you see there's a gap now. Now there's not. Do you want it to extend all the way across the monitor or not? That's what it looks like with it not extended. I'll leave it extended. We'll go ahead and configure the panel here. So we've already got workspaces and applications down here. I'm just going to take those off. Really only want the time and the date here. And we can leave that default the rest of the way. And then let's go to dock. What I'm wanting to do is basically make this look like the Ubuntu install. Position of the screen, we want to change that from bottom to left. Gap. Let's go ahead and extend. And then configure the dock applets. So right now everything's in the center, and as you know, on Ubuntu the applications are at the bottom. Launcher, I don't really need those either. And then we'll put the app tray at the top and any minimize windows at the top. So now we've got kind of an Ubuntu style going. Right, all of our applications are here. Alright, so that pretty much takes care of our desktop. Now, if you've noticed the cursor that it comes with, it's kind of just a default. Let's change that. Let's go download the by beta cursor. And I'll just grab the by beta cursor. It's the one that comes with Linux Mint. And we'll go with Modern Classic. And if you go back to this main page, it's going to show you what you got to do to get that installed here. CD into our downloads folder. And there's our by beta tar file that we just downloaded. So we want to extract that. sudo move by beta dash star, which is basically everything that we just extracted. It's going to move that into the user share icons folder. We're going to open a terminal, and we're going to modify this ets environment. And you just want to come down and add your cursor size here. I'm using 28. That's a little large. Might could get by with 24 or lower. And then the actual name of the cursor that you've downloaded and you've put in your user share icon location. And since we've got that, I'm going to go ahead and escape out of there. And then step 2 is setting the G settings here. Paste that in. G settings, set GNOME desktop interface, cursor theme, and then this is where you want to replace that with the name of your cursor if you're not using by beta Modern Classic. And then give it a reboot and you should have your new cursor. Alright, and if you want to get Steam installed, you might notice you do a sudo pacman s steam. It's not found. It's because we need to enable the multi-lib repository, so we're going to up arrow. You want to do a sudo nano ets pacman.config file. Go down till you see the repository section. Here we are. And there's multi-lib. We just want to take the hashtag off the front. It's basically commenting that out until you actually need to use it, which we want to enable it, so we'll just take that out. Control O to write it out, Control X. And I just want to go back in, make sure it saved it. And it did, so we'll do another Control X. Now we'll up arrow again, sudo pacman s steam. Database file does not exist. Oh, okay, so we need to do a sudo pacman syu to give that a refresh to pull down the multi-lib. And now let's do Steam again. Enter, and then it's going to download 204 meg, total install size 805. Say yes to that. Alright, that did install Steam, so we'll go ahead and close that out of there. Alright, and let's make sure that Cosmic works with the toolbox. github.com/the-linuxitguy/toolbox. Just going to click copy there. And then paste into the terminal. And we don't have git, so let's do a sudo pacman s git. Go ahead and install that. Try that again. Alright, it does run. So what we could do is just select, let's say we didn't want Firefox or whatever. Select the Brave browser. If you wanted Discord, Lutris, got Steam on there as well, OBS Studio, which we selected during the install. Let's see if it actually did it. Yeah, there it is. OBS Studio got installed already. And then if you wanted to remove, let's remove Firefox just as an example. You can enable and disable Bluetooth, update the system, but we'll just stick with the install and remove. Click on run. Watch the terminal. All right, applications have installed or have been removed. Okay. Just gonna quit out of that, close the terminal. And if we search for Brave, you can see we got it installed. Let's see, did it actually remove Firefox? I had it open during the install. Okay, it did. I'm clicking on it, nothing's happening. So if I gave it a reboot, Firefox should go away. Yeah, it's gone. And I just gave it a quick reboot and replaced the Firefox gear with the Brave icon here. I just pinned that to the tray and removed the Firefox icon. And that's going to do it for today's video. If you found this video helpful, here are some others that you may find interesting as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.